Bluetooth, listening to the messages through the car's speakers, and responded to them individually via voice texting. She drove as fast as she dared and made it to the courthouse to find local law enforcement on scene, along with fire trucks, ambulances, and the FBI mobile command post. SWAT was on standby. Julianna parked, pulled on her vest and windbreaker, and headed for the RV. When she stepped inside, Supervisory Special Agent Hector Rodriguez looked up. "Glad you could make it." His dark eyes, normally serious, held a new level of intensity. A neatly trimmed black mustache graced his upper lip, and he stroked it with one finger, as he was known to do when stressed or thinking. "Got here as fast as I could." Julianna slipped on the headset that would allow her to connect with the man holding the judge and a room full of people hostage. "Do we have eyes?" "We should any moment now. Catch me up. This was the Nicholas Manchester trial." "Ah, yes. The guy who hijacked the plane last year and killed 6 passengers." "That's the one." Rodriguez ran his finger over his mustache once more. His collateral duties included supervising SWAT and the field office coordinators for crisis negotiations and the behavioral analysis unit. No doubt, both were on call, ready to conference as they learned more. Apparently, Nicholas didn't like the guilty verdict. He had a crew in place ready to help him out, complete with masks and tear gas. SWAT is attempting to get a camera under the door, but so far, no luck. How'd Manchester's crew get the stuff in there? The security footage is still being scanned, but so far, it looks like someone allowed them access to a back door late last night. The perpetrators hid out in the building's mechanical space, and when they got the guilty verdict, they stormed the courtroom. I'm sure we'll be learning more as the investigation continues. The monitor in front of her flickered, and the courtroom scene came to life. Julianna leaned in, processing the visual. She counted. 11 jurors in the box, seated, several crying, some with stone-faced fear. 2 U.S. Marshals lay on the floor in front of the bench, with a woman kneeling next to one of them. Judge Lisa Stevens sat in her chair, staring straight ahead. The man behind her held a fistful of Lisa's chin-length blonde hair and a gun aimed at her right temple. The room was still smoky, but only in the far left corner. The people who'd been closest to the tear gas had their shirts pulled up over their faces, and several were coughing. "Who set the tear gas off?" she asked. "Guy posing as a U.S. Marshal is our best guess. It was a small amount, enough to cause a distraction, but not enough to reach Manchester and his cohorts. Someone slipped him a weapon. Again, that was probably the fake Marshal. When the real Marshals went after him, he opened fire. One's wounded, but seems to be okay. As for the other one," he shook his head. "No word if he's still alive. Life flight out of Asheville is on the way." Julianna wondered if Penny Carlton would be the pilot. The company Penny flew for covered 18 counties across the Carolinas and into Tennessee and Georgia. "All right, so first order of business is to get the wounded out of there." Before she could make that happen, she needed Manchester talking. "Anyone in communication with him?" "No, not yet. Waiting on you. He's not answering the courtroom phone. We have a couple of the hostages' numbers. Thought you could try them and see if someone would chance answering." "Okay, let's start dialing." They dialed 3 and no one answered. "But the phones are on. They're ringing," she said. "Could be on silent." She rubbed her chin, thinking. "How'd you get the information about the wounded Marshals and how everything went down?" "Manchester sent out a pregnant woman who thought she was going into labor when all the excitement started." He showed her the picture of the woman being helped into the back of an ambulance. "Turns out it was false labor." Julianna raised a brow. "He sent her out. I would have thought he'd just shoot her." "Guess there's a conscience in him somewhere." She frowned. "No, not him." She'd studied the airplane case after it happened. Manchester hadn't surrendered, and he hadn't planned on being taken alive. But one of his own had turned on him and allowed agents into the plane, where Manchester had taken 2 bullets and then tried to turn the gun on himself before a passenger tackled him. "He sent her out for a reason," she said. "She's not his wife. I remember her being interviewed after it was stated Manchester would survive his wound. So this woman, is she related to him? His sister, sister-in-law, girlfriend, mistress? Is the baby his? Because she means something to him." Hector studied her, then consulted his laptop. "Her name is Abigail Freeman, goes by Abby. She was among those in the gallery. I'll get someone to ask."